Hairbrain Comedy presents.
This is Picking Fights with DJ Dangler and the world famous
Jasper T. Colbaire.
And this is UFC 269 Fun Size.
I wish they'd go back to having the stupid names on the pay-per-views. Final conflict. They start sounding like fucking Japanese video games for Nintendo.
Didn't they have one that was David and Goliath? And they
Oh,
tried
yeah.
to make all the big guys. Yeah, they had all the big guys fight all the little guys.
Yeah, and what a surprising turnout. A bunch of little guys got hurt. Sorry, Jerry Bolander.
Starting out at not the smallest fighters we'll see, but bantamweight fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Julian Piava, is that how you go with it?
Maybe.
Is taking on Sean O'Malley. And this says that Sean O'Malley is unranked.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think he's the only one that's not ranked.
Yeah. So we got to lodge a complaint here because UFC.com, if you look at the fight card, is telling us that Julian is ranked number 15, but then strangely, if you go look at the actual rankings, his name is not listed. And I'm calling bullshit.
Do you think it's just because they want O'Malley to have a win against a ranked fighter?
I think that's exactly what it is. Who gives a shit? People are watching him anyway. Who gives a fucking shit? You know, like, people, we'll fucking tune in. You want to put, like, who was that fucking football player that was 100 years old that fought in Strikeforce?
Herschel Walker.
Yeah, Herschel Walker. We fucking watch Herschel Walker fight.
Yeah.
I mean, look, people are fucking tuning in to watch fucking Jake and Jordan Peele or Paul or whatever their names are going in there and fighting. Like, people don't give a fuck. Just let us watch who we want to fucking watch. You ain't got to put numbers next to it.
Do you think we'll ever get to see Key and Peele fight each other?
Oh, that'd be great. I mean, on Triller Triad or whatever the fuck these. There's a million fucking amateur boxing pay-per-views that people are, for some reason, fucking paying money to watch. Which I liked it when it was free on TV, and it was called Celebrity Boxing.
Didn't Tanya Harding beat the hell out of the chick too?
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but I'm going to say it was Tiffany.
Yeah, I would. I'm going to assume it was. It was her or Molly Ringwald. One of them. One of those girls in the 80s that I had a crush before I knew what that meant on got stomped out.
Todd Bridges beat the shit out of Vanilla Ice. You can just see that was two different types of men entered that ring. Holy cow. Woo!
I'll bet you could make a show that was just people beating up Vanilla Ice. Different celebrities take a whack at Vanilla Ice.
I'm Jeff Foxworthy, and this is Are You Tougher Than Vanilla Ice?
Can you beat up a D-lister? Do you think Sugar Sean's going to step up to the challenge?
Yeah, Sean will win this fight, and he'll look good doing it, and he'll be funny when he talks afterwards, and he'll just continue to be a rising star. I feel like we talk about Sugar Sean like every third one of these we do.
I am going to say I hope he wins just because I believe it. Like, I hate it when I'm rooting too much for a guy to just judge the fight. But that's what this is. I'll totally cop to it. I like him.
Yeah.
And he's a good fighter. If Julian beats him, I'll pay more attention to Julian in the future.
Sure. And I mean, that's where Sugar Sean's at. Like, he's a solid guy who we recognize. And so, like, his fights do matter. So, and as a curtain jerker on a pay-per-view, perfect.
Great fight. Great fight. Then we're going all the way down to flyweight. 125 pounds.
Kai, don't blink. Is Cara France a last name?
Sounds like a horse. It sounds like we're betting on a horse. 125 pounds. This is me. I weigh more than this fight. That whole there are two dogs fighting inside of you, which that's a literal, that could literally happen.
Cody Garbrandt, like, he's only got 4 losses, but them 4 losses are in his last 5 fights. That's not a good look. And I don't think dehydrating your body even more is going to help the situation. Everybody wants to go down in weight to try to be bigger. You weren't getting knocked out because these guys were bigger than you. You were getting knocked out because you don't defend your fucking chin. I don't have anything against Cody Garbrandt. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter, but I just got to say, if you cut this weight and then you get your ass kicked by Kai Kara France, then I just don't know what's left.
If Garbrandt doesn't come down and just dominate, then he's made a mistake. Because if this is a good fight, then he has made a mistake. Age 30, he is not too old to repurpose himself and have another title run in him. I don't think it's going to be at flyweight. I think it's going to, if it happens, I think it's going to be dedication at bantam.
You don't see guys lose their title and then lose 3 more of their next 4 fights and then come back and win a title. It don't happen. For all them reasons, I'm picking Kai Kara France. A jockey can ride a horse until he's fucking 70 years old, but he can't be a fucking boxer past 35.
That's 2 tiny people, sports, fighting, and they should have like a tiny person biathlon, like a flyweight biathlon, and instead of skiing and shooting, you've got to ride a horse and box a guy round for round.
I love it. So here's my question. Do you box and then you go jump on a horse like after you kind of like spinning around on the baseball bat and then running while you're dizzy? Or do you ride the horse and whoever gets to the ring first has longer to prepare and the other guy hops off the horse and jumps in and you just start swinging punches at each other, which is cool.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, guy that gets there second has to fight with his chaps on or something. As long as that's not advantageous. Yeah. I think that seems fair.
Now, can they box from horseback like a game of chicken?
I assume they would.
Okay.
If the first 2 events are a draw. Jeff Neal and Santiago. One of my favorite names to say, Ponzinibbio. Didn't Hands of Steel fight the Argentine Dagger in the Shang-Chi movies? Those 2 of the 10 Rings?
Hands of Steel is spelled with a Z.
Yeah.
Is this a fucking like hip hop album from the 90s? Is fucking Jeff Neal's fight sponsored by No Limit Records?
I think these 2 are going to come out and just try to take each other's heads off.
Yeah, we're talking about above 75% finish rates for both dudes. These are interesting points in their career. I mean, neither of these guys are in the top 10, even though they, in recent years, were on 7-fight win streaks.
Let's not forget that it's been a weird couple of years, the last 2 years.
Yep, true.
For everybody, this could just be a getting back to normal fight. When you are a lower top 15 fighter, put on a card where you're the welterweight, you're the biggest, heaviest dudes on the card, these guys are expected to knock each other out.
The Argentine Dagger, for his sake, I would love to see him get some wins and get back into title contention that he should have been in before he was laid off. But Neil's from Texas, and,
Fair enough.
Case closed.
Fair enough.
Case closed.
I'm picking the Dagger.
Yeah.
Amanda Nunes is fighting Juliana Pena.
I don't think Juliana Pena is going to be the one that beats Amanda Nunes. Unless Amanda Nunes comes in looking like Damon Wayans in the Great White Hype.
You think she finishes the Venezuelan Vixen?
Yeah.
What a great title fight at lightweight. This is the fight that should happen and will happen. Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier.
Think about the personalities we've had in the past, 5 to 10 years in lightweight with Conor McGregor and Eddie Alvarez and Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson and Khabib. And, I mean, DeBronx ain't one of those great, flashy, fun guys to listen to talk, but he's a fucking phenomenal fighter. And Dustin Poirier has got that, like, all-American fighting dog spirit that people love. Although he does owe Conor McGregor's a rematch for his bullshit leg break.
DeBronx is so generically handsome that, I sometimes think he's like 3 different fighters. He's a guy that, when he changes his haircut, he looks like a brand new guy. Like he looks like the player 1 choice on a video game.
I think DeBronx has more. He has more ways to finish because he could do it on the ground. Poirier ain't stopping him on the ground. But I think Poirier might just bash him the fuck up on the feet. Leg kicks, and especially if he cheats and breaks his leg like he did Conor's. But I gotta go Louisiana on this one. I think Poirier, if the fight lasts later in, I think Poirier still has the ability to finish later. Um, and I think he's just more physically powerful, and he's not gonna run into shit like Michael Chandler.
He is. I think he's probably the bigger man than Oliveira. Like I think walking around weight.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
I think 3 months from now, Poirier is going to weigh 20 pounds more than Oliveira.
Yep.
If that makes sense, in 3 weeks.
Yep.
But people always talk about how Oliveira is like a super uniform fighter and like he's technically sound. He's definitely like he's, and I think that regiment is part of his charm and part of his success. I think he's a guy that's kind of always training and always on top of his game. And I think that also plays into the fact like people question Oliveira's heart. That's ridiculous. He's the champion. Like he's just not a passionate or gritty fighter. I think Oliveira doesn't appeal to people the same way because you never have like he never looks desperate. He never in the last fight he got rocked.
Yep.
Rocked.
Yep.
And he came back and just went to bit like he didn't even look like he didn't look scared.
Nope.
He didn't look mad.
Nope.
Just went back and did it. And while that is amazing, it's not charming. I think he's going to do it again. I think the only way he loses this fight is if it goes the distance and they give it to Poirier because he looks more like Rocky.
Dustin the Screech Diamond Poirier wins by 4th round TKO.
Like I think it's going to be things aren't working for Poirier and it goes to the ground and he gets caught.
So we're splitting title fight. You think retaining for the champ. We know a Nunez is going to smash.
Yep.
We're split on the welterweight slugfest.
I think we both showed no love to no love.
We're unanimous on Sugar Sean every fucking time. That kid.
I don't like him. I'm not going to root against him.
Until he's fighting
yeah.
in the top 5, I'm picking him.
Yeah.
And then I'll think about it, and then I'll still pick him regardless of what logic says.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick him until he's a bad bet, and then probably one more time. Well, this was fun. UFC 269, fun size. It's gonna be a real good card.
It's gonna be good.
I'm DJ Dangler. And that's the world famous
Jasper T. Colbaire. See you next time.